It is the 5th week in Eastertide, and this is Extra-Ordinary Extra. So we're coming live here from our attic studio that we've been broadcasting out of. Myself and Naomi have been doing our best to try and keep our channel going. And of course we're here with you guys as we do on a Sunday morning, looking at our extraordinary calendar for the week. The Ordo, of course, remember, if you are new to this channel, it is that kind of calendar of the church, the norms of the church. And actually, when everything is so not normal, it's nice to remember that there's still that church's calendar, those feasts, those saints' days to keep us anchored and to keep us in a routine. This week we've got some amazing saints to think about, all of whom answered the call. And that's of course appropriate because our word of the week this week is vocation, from the Latin vocare, which means to call. On Monday we celebrate St. John Horton and some other English saints who gave their lives local to our diocese. Really, really cool that we have people we can look up to who literally gave their entire lives for their faith, who heard God's call and answered it. Because actually every day right now people are giving their lives to answer God's call, to help other people. The NHS workers going to work every day to help those who are sick. The engineers designing ventilators, the scientists designing vaccines. We're all called to do different things in different ways because we're different people. God made us like that. So this week we've got a number of feasts who help us think about how we can be called this week and what it is we can be called to do. On Wednesday we've got the feast of Our Lady of Fatima. And what was really interesting, who did she call? She called young people. She appeared to young people to give her message, and she knew that those young people could be witnesses and examples to the world. Same way you guys watching this channel can be right now. We as young people can be an amazingly important part of the church, and we can be there as the voice of reason and a voice of hope. One thing Pope Francis has called on us to do is to pray the Rosary during the month of May. And of course, on Wednesday, maybe especially, we can pray that Rosary. We can pray that special prayer, asking Our Lady to be in our prayers and to pray with us, because she calls us to do that. And of course, she called those young people the same way she's calling us to be a voice of hope and a witness to the world. On Thursday, very interesting saint, Saint Matthias, one of the 12 disciples. Hold on, was he? Well, no, not originally, he wasn't. Judas was, but Judas lost his place, obviously. And the disciples needed to appoint a new person. He was called up. In fact, they had a bit of a kind of audition process. There was other people in the mix, and the disciples threw lots, and they discussed it. But eventually, Matthias was called to step up. And often that means taking a greater responsibility, doing something different. The same way we're all being called to step up right now. Whether that's being called to step up in our workplace, in our jobs, in our families, in just staying at home, so that we can protect the vulnerable. We are all being called to step up, the same way St. Matthias was. So maybe on his feast day, maybe let's pray for those people who are stepping up to the plate every single day, doing incredible things, raising money for charity, helping those people who need it the most. But maybe let's think about how we can step up to the call that God's given us. One thing I'm going to ask you to do is to step up to the call to join us at 9:30 on Monday, because we have our 9:30 AM club after Joe Wicks, of course, and we come live every week. We're on episode 8, and we come every week with live special guests from various places. We often try and speak to key workers and those people who are on the front line, just to give you an insight and, of course, to connect live across the country whilst we're doing that. So please join us 9:30 AM on our channel, and then we have our second live stream, which is 6 PM on a Friday evening with Naomi, our Friday Night Live, which is a bit more fun and games. We have quizzes, competitions, and a chance for a kind of night prayer together with you and your family. So join us 9:30 on a Monday, 6 PM on a Friday, and it's a great way to start and end your week. On a Wednesday, we post a video called Making Sense of It All, and we'd ask you to check them out as well. They followed all of the different events, and of course today there's probably going to be lots of stuff to talk about. Today, Sunday, there's going to be, apparently, an announcement, and we're going to know, apparently, what's going on, kind of, next. No one really knows, and we might not know after Sunday, but we do know that things are going to start to change. And things are going to be kind of getting different. But one thing that will stay the same is that all of us are still going to be called to be good people, called to be holy, called to be loving. So if some of us start going back to work or start going back to school, well, let's do that with love, and let's do that with care for each other. If some of us are called to stay at home still, to carry on the lockdown, even though it's getting really, really tough, let's do that with courage and with perseverance. If some of us are called finally to be able to see the ones we love, let's embrace them and give them the love that which we so sorely want to give them, and let's answer that call just to be God's face in the world. We are all called. We all have a vocation. And this week, I feel we're all going to have a chance to live up to it. Please let us know in the comments box below what you'd like to see on our channel. Please, as always, hit subscribe so that you guys can find out the very best of what's going on our channel. And, of course, be there for our Mystery Minute, which occurs randomly throughout the week with a chance to win prizes. And, most importantly, stay safe, keep well, look after and love each other, and we will see you soon.